Welcome back to another video. I'm looking at an SSD from iDSONIX. The company sent this in for a review and a test, so I will give you a quick bit of information and we'll do some benchmarks later on. I hadn't heard of this company before, but a bit of research reveals that it's part of the Orico group, and I have looked at a few of those products before from that maker. The kit that you get with this does include some screws, and you also get a mini screwdriver. A user manual, which you probably don't need, but it gives you some warranty information. And looking at the drive now, we're in the budget sector. This is the X20 model, and the case material is made out of plastic. Of course, we do have metal screw threads. Capacity of this drive is slightly larger than some SSDs. That's because some brands count 1000 instead of 1024 for a gigabyte or a terabyte. I didn't get much information off of the SSDs, so what I did was go back to the manufacturer and ask them a bit more details on some areas. There are 3 different types of controller that they use depending on the production run. The NAND flash is made by a company called Y20. They're not a new company, but they are evidently pushing the technology with the NAND flash. I did double check the figures for the endurance, and the terabyte written figures are up here on the screen. I think for most people the endurance isn't really a problem these days. If you're doing high intense workloads, you're probably going to be looking at something like an enterprise class drive. Did some benchmark tests, and these are the results that I got, pretty much in line with what I was expecting. SSDs in this price range typically don't have a DRAM cache, so I was interested to see if I could cause any problems with the drive by transferring large files. There were no big drops in terms of the performance, so I was quite pleased with that. Did another test with mixed larger and smaller files, and it did drop off a bit with the smaller files. It did seem to run out of steam at one point, but it did recover quite quickly. I think most people are going to be happy enough with the performance of this drive. One point to note, with solid state drives, if you do have any problems, typically you don't see them as you would do with a traditional hard drive. So always make sure that you back up your data. I can't emphasize that enough, particularly things like photos, videos and important documents. As far as the X20 goes, I have fitted this to my computer and I'm going to be using it on a daily basis. So if there are any problems at all or issues long term, I'm more than happy to report on those. They do other products such as accessories and enclosures, so maybe we'll have a look at those at a later date. Some of the older DRAM-less budget drives weren't very good with memory management. That seems to have improved significantly. That wraps it up for me on this video. I hope it was useful to you. Hope to see you in the next one. If you've got any thoughts or comments, do drop them down below.